Look closely at this painting. Notice anything familiar about the central figure? Looks like Hitler, doesn't he? This was painted in 1889, the same year that Hitler was born. It is titled The Wild Chase and depicts the Teutonic legend of Wotan, the Mad Hunter, a personification of death and destruction in Germanic mythology. He rides at night, leaving horror in his wake. Many have suggested that Hitler modeled his physical appearance as a man on this painting, which he first saw at the age of 13, leaving a deep impression upon him. Certainly the resemblance between the figure in the painting and Hitler as a young man of politics is striking. We also know that Hitler became obsessed with the artist and proclaimed him to be his favorite painter. That artist was Franz Ritter von Stuck. Born simply Franz Stuck in 1863, he rose to artistic prominence in the 1880s, first exhibiting in Munich in 1889, the year of Hitler's birth. He won a gold medal for this painting, entitled The Guardian of the Paradise, which shows an angel holding a flaming sword. This striking painting caused Stuck to become famous. In 1893, he won further fame for this, his best-known work, entitled The Sin, a symbolist painting depicting Eve with a large serpent wrapped around her body. He would eventually create 12 versions of this painting. Further success followed for Stuck at the World's Columbia Exposition in Chicago in 1893, earning another gold medal and appointment to a royal professorship in the Kingdom of Bavaria. In 1905 he was ennobled, being appointed to the Order of Merit of the Bavarian Crown, his name changed to Franz Ritter von Stuck, Ritter being analogous to a knighthood in other countries, and in Bavaria at the time an hereditary title. As a professor, he tutored many who would become very famous artists, including Paul Klee and Wassily Kandinsky. Some of von Stuck's paintings are really dark. For example, this, titled Lucifer from 1890, showing the fallen angel Lucifer cast out of heaven by God. However, young Adolf Hitler, deeply interested in high culture from an early age, and with aspirations to become an artist, supposedly first laid his eyes on von Stuck's The Wild Chase in around 1902, when he was 13 years old and living in Leonding outside Linz with his parents and siblings. Hitler would apply to the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna for the first time within 5 years in 1907. And he was busy during the intervening period, producing drawings and paintings, for as well as an entrance examination, Hitler was required to submit a pre-prepared portfolio of his art to the examiners. It is highly likely that Hitler was exposed to von Stuck's work, as postcards of the artist's work were widely circulated, Stuck being at the height of his fame and popularity. 13-year-olds are notoriously impressionable, and Stuck's work stayed in Hitler's mind all the way through to adulthood. So what attracted Hitler to von Stuck's work? The style is of course striking and powerful, and Hitler also had an early interest in Germanic folklore, The Wild Chase being an excellent example of such subject matter. Some have seen the painting as prophesizing the rise of Hitler, a grim Germanic godlike figure leading an army of darkness that devastated the world. But the reality is that Hitler was so affected by the power of this painting and the central figure that he consciously, physically remodeled himself on the figure as he grew into manhood, and particularly as he entered politics. The same hairstyle, the same intense eyes, the same stern face, the same moustache, even the way he physically projected himself as a messianic-like figure, tormented and intense, but a leader to be followed and respected. Germanic myth and imagery always played a strong role in German society. We see Hitler striking poses very similar to the figure in this painting in speeches during the early part of his political rise, seemingly consciously copying what he saw in von Stuck's painting. Hitler was also a very strong believer in fate and destiny. Perhaps he saw his destiny in this painting, painted as it was in the year of his birth, a direct link between the image and the real person that took on the image of Wotan in his rise to political power. When Hitler gained power in Germany, he began amassing his own art collection, and at his Munich apartment, Hitler would display one of the 12 versions of von Stuck's The Sin. It was found there by US troops in 1945. Another of von Stuck's paintings, Medusa, caused him to exclaim when he first laid eyes upon it, "Those are the eyes of my mother." Make of that what you will. What we can say is that Hitler was deeply affected by von Stuck's art, and in particular the Wild Chase. Is it simply coincidence that he ended up looking uncannily like the figure of Wotan in the painting, particularly once he entered politics, when his appearance began to change? Wotan is a restless wanderer who creates unrest and stirs up strife, now here, now there, and works magic. The later Christians viewed him as the devil. Franz Ritter von Stuck lived to see the rise of Hitler, passing away in Munich in August 1928 at the age of 65. Perhaps he also saw in the leader of the Nazi Party the figure that he had painted all those years earlier. The Wild Chase is currently in the collection of the State Gallery at Lenbach House in Munich, along with many von Stuck paintings. Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also visit my audiobook channel, War Stories with Mark Felton. You can also help to support both of my channels at PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.